Tanzania, Rwanda, Burundi, and the like. And they haven't been doing so bad on the market, though yesterday they were one of the losers, losing by about 0.36%. Jubilee Holdings Limited lost as well by 0.36% to a price of 8,278.4. If you remember last week, Jubilee losers at 0.36% depreciation in price. And Kenya Airways as well was among the losers, also at 0.36% depreciation to a price of 121.95. Now, looking at other players on the market, the companies that are trading currently, we have British American Tobacco of 1,500 shillings. That hasn't changed since last week and a couple of weeks now, and no volume has been traded on the exchange in British American Tobacco, Uganda. Bank of Baroda, we are seeing some activity in Bank of Baroda with a volume of 105,900 shares traded yesterday, and these currently by the close of the market yesterday, the price was 80 cents per share at Bank of Baroda, Uganda. Notably, Bank of Baroda released its annual financial results for scrutiny, and you can find them on their website. But as well, we shall be looking into what Bank of Baroda actually had in their financial year 2021-2022. As well, we shall also be looking at their dividend. They have issued dividends worth 25 billion Ugandan shillings back to their shareholders, and we'll be seeing how much each shareholder is going to get, and maybe probably their annual general meeting as well to approve that dividend that they actually declared. And of course, Bank of Baroda has been listed for quite some time on the Uganda Securities Exchange, and it's a company worth investing in. At only 80 cents, you can get started with Bank of Baroda, Uganda. Centum Investment, we have already mentioned among the losers. Yeah, well, it lost by a price of 1.05 cents yesterday to a current price of 289.74, which is currently trading on the market. Down to Cipla Quality Chemicals currently trades at 69 cents, and that's the price that was trading yesterday, though there was no volumes traded, no change in price over the past 24 hours, but a very prospective company there. If you remember, Cipla beginning of the year, it had a price of about 88 cents. In the middle of the quarter, it moved down to 80 cents. And then at the beginning of this month, a steady decline. And as I say, on the market, any decline is an opportunity for people to actually start accessing shares right now when they are trading on a lower price. And of course, Cipla has very many future prospects in regard to drug manufacturing with their new anti-cancer drug unit that's being constructed on the plant, as well as expanding their wings across Africa, trading in Zambia, South Africa, and other African countries. It's a good company for you to start with. And of course, Cipla this year registered their first profit since listing in 2017. So yeah, it's something you can look up to if you're starting out as an investor, to invest in Cipla Quality Chemical Industries Limited. It's our local company here, and it's specialized in pharmaceutical processing and manufacturing of drugs, especially anti-malarials and HIV drugs. Down to DFCU Bank. DFCU, that's Development Finance Company Uganda Limited, currently trading at 550, a local bank here in Uganda, and it hasn't had any volume traded, and no change in price has been witnessed on the market in the past 24 hours. East African Breweries Limited was one of the losers. As I said, it has been losing for quite some days in a row, and currently it's settled to a price of about 3,749. 3,749.16, and that is about a price change of 45.50 cents. And then Equity Bank Limited, among the losers, lost by 4.49 cents as well, to a price of 1,241. And of course, Jubilee Holdings was one of the big losers there as well, losing by 29.9 cents to a price currently of 8,278.4. Kenya Airways, among another, a bunch of losers by 0.44, and of course now currently trading at 121.95. KCB Bank, KCB is of course one of the losers as well, losing by about 16.98 cents to a price of 1,162.16. MTN Uganda neither lost or gained, but actually currently trades at 180 shillings. And of course, yesterday it traded a volume of 2,871 shares on the market. National Insurance Corporation currently trades at, of course, 6.2 cents without any changes in price. And down to Nation Media Group, currently trading at 542.87, with a gain of about, that's Nation Media Group, with a gain of about 15.61 shillings. Then down to New Vision. New Vision currently trades at 160 shillings per share, and Stanbic Bank at 22 cents. That is over the past 24 hours, they traded a volume of about 95,700 shares. And down to Uganda Clays, trading at 19 cents. And last 24 hours, they traded about 68,500 shares. And down to Wumeme, trading at 239. And the last 24 hours, it traded about 21,700 shares. The Uganda Security Exchange trading summary for the day, that is June 27th, yesterday. At the end of the first weekday of trading on the exchange, there was a total of 594,671 shares that were traded, corresponding to a market value of 24,184,000 that was traded. Compared to the previous day of the Uganda Security Exchange trading, that is last Friday. Remember, the market is open from Monday to Friday, and it closes every weekday at 1 p.m. and opens at 9 a.m. Right now it's open, and of course trading is occurring, but the data we are sharing is as per the close of the market yesterday. Now, compared with the previous Uganda Security Exchange trading day, that is Friday, the data shows 45% decline in volume and 74% decline in turnover. And the current market capitalization of the Uganda Securities Exchange is 19.7 trillion Ugandan shillings. And of course, in aggregate, 5 USE listed equities participated in trading, ending with 2 gainers and 6 losers. The 2 gainers, of course, Nation Media Group and Wumeme. Nation Media gaining by 2.69% and Wumeme gaining by 0.00 something percent. On the losing side, KCB was the last, with an end of day price depreciation of 1.44% at 1,162.16 per share. It was followed by East African Breweries, who lost by 1.2%. Centrum Investment followed at 0.36%. Then Equity Bank as well at 0. Stanbic Bank recorded the highest volume of about 395,700 shares traded, followed by Bank of Baroda at 105,900 shares traded. Then Uganda Clays at 68,500 shares, and Wumeme at 21,700 shares. Well, regarding the performance of the security exchange market indices, The benchmark index, the Uganda Security Exchange All Share Index, dropped 6.12 points by about 0.53% points to close at 1,145.36, representing a one-week loss of 3.27% and a four-week loss of about 6.04%. Now, an overall year-to-date loss was about 19.38, whereas the Uganda Security Exchange Local Company Index maintained its value at 273.54 points, making it a one-week loss of 1.81% and a four-week loss of 5.83% and a year-to-date loss of about 15.75%. Now, this is the data as per the Uganda Security Exchange yesterday. And of course, later on the show, I'll be looking into the fixed income deposits, that's the treasury bonds and treasury bills, and how much has been trading on the market. We're going into a short break. When we return with other. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for remaining with us. You're still watching Smart 24 TV, and we drive your business. Thank you for remaining with us. Of course, we are focused on financial markets here, that is the money market and the capital markets. And we cannot look at the Uganda Security Exchange alone without looking at some of the major exchanges across the continent. And one of them, of course, being our very own neighbors here in Nairobi, the Nairobi Securities Exchange. Now, why the Nairobi Securities Exchange? Of course, starting in 1954, it is one of the exchanges that has, impacted the economies of East Africa. And of course, offering world-class trading facilities for both its local and foreign investors and looking to gain exposure to the country's rising economy. The Bourse is based in Nairobi, the capital of Kenya, and is one of the fastest growing economies in the sub-Saharan Africa. The Nairobi Stock Exchange operates under the jurisdiction of the Capital Markets Authority of Kenya and is governed by an 11-member board. And of course, in 2014, after a successful initial public offer, the Bourse was able to demutualize and become listed on its own exchange as the Nairobi Stock Exchange Limited. And currently, it's one of the companies that is trading on the exchange. Now, in 2008, in order to provide investors with a comprehensive measure of the performance of the market, the Nairobi Stock Exchange launched the Nairobi Stock Exchange All Share Index. The index is a market capitalization weighted index. Best value is 100 as of January 2008 and comprises of all the listed companies or securities, effectively the benchmark index of the Kenyan stock market. In 2011, together with the Ftse International, the Nairobi Stock Exchange introduced the Ftse Nse Index, and the Ftse Nse Index was divided into the 15 and the 25 indices, which are designed for the creation of the index tracking funds and derivative products, and as performance benchmarks while ensuring their investability. The Nairobi Stock Exchange or Index 25 is one that monitors the top 25 companies. Now, looking at the index, the benchmark index of the Nairobi Stock Exchange, that is the NSE All Share Index. It is in green currently, gaining by about 1.2 points compared to the previous day of trading. That is about a 1.03% increase in value. Now, if you've been following very keenly, the Nairobi Stock Exchange hasn't been doing that well. And of course, according to the rankings of the top 10 security exchanges in Africa, Nairobi came out third last after Ghana and Egypt came up at the last on the top 10 indices, the top 10 exchanges in Africa. And of course, this was attributable to the capital flight of very many foreign investors who have been liquidating on the market and pulling out of the market to invest back home, especially in the United States, as they have been offered more attractive fixed incomes with very attractive interest rates. And this is a challenge that the Nairobi Stock Exchange actually has been trying to put to solution, to see that they have more local investment rather than foreign investment. Extremely detrimental to the economy in terms of capital flight, as these people, whenever they sell shares, whenever they get dividends, they actually carry them back home, and that creates capital flight. And of course, Kenya has been, as an economy, struggling with the weakening of the Kenyan shilling against the US dollars, and that has been, of course, another contributing factor. That is the fact that on the Bourse, many investors are foreign, and whenever they trade very large volumes of money, they carry this money back home. And of course, due to fears of inflation, due to fears surrounding, of course, the looming election in Kenya, many companies have suffered that loss. Nevertheless, we had some gainers, yes, who were led by SMER and Uchumi Supermarket and Umeme as well, and also National Breweries, and as well as KNRE. And we are going to look at the detail of that market. But before we look at the detail, I want you to remember as well that the Nairobi Stock Exchange maintains four marketing listing categories, namely, first of all, the main investment market segment, the alternate investment market segment, and the fixed income securities market segment, but as well as the growth enterprise market segment. Now, the first three segments, that is the main market, the alternate market, and the fixed income securities market segments, were created in 2001 to cater for the stocks of the large and the medium-sized companies, as well as corporate and government bonds. Looking at it in a way that the bigger companies like Safaricom, bigger companies like the East African breweries, and all these are listed on the main market segment. Then the alternate looks at the medium-sized companies. We could give examples like East African Cables and the like. Those are medium-sized companies, and they're listed on the alternate market segment. But then the fixed income securities segment is one that takes care of now the corporate bonds and the government bonds. That is in Kenya right there. And of course, in 2013, the growth enterprise market segment was initiated. What is the growth enterprise market segment? This is a segment where growing or small enterprises list on the exchange and gain capital and develop and expand their production. They develop and expand and grow, and this has helped actually the Kenyan market to grow really fast. I think that, of course, is here in Uganda, but not many companies have actually realized. Looking at the growth enterprise segment on the Uganda Security Exchange, there was almost, I think, no company that has taken interest in listing on the growth enterprise segment. And this is quite unfortunate because very many enterprises are opening up today and closing the next day. We are, according to statistics, the most enterprising company, entrepreneurial company, starting up many companies. But that statistic, of course, is counteracted by another statistic that we are the company that has the highest close-ups. Yes, we have very many startups, but they are equivalent to the close-ups, meaning the equation is balanced. You start, you close. Why? Because of lack of capital, lack of proper maintenance, lack of good structures of leadership, legal and regulatory frameworks, and so on. Now, the Kenyan market solved this by coming up with a growth enterprise market, which we have as well here, but none has taken interest. And if you're a small business out there and you would love to increase your capital, you can always approach either the Capital Markets Authority for guidance or the Uganda Security Exchange and actually present your case. You never know, you could get listed. There are very many benefits definitely that come with listing on the exchange. First of all, you have integrity. People have trust. They trust your integrity because definitely all companies that are listed on the exchange have been scrutinized for performance, and they are trusted companies with good governance, with, of course, good books, audited books. And this creates a lot of trust, and that will create a lot of market for your goods as well. But mainly, you get capital, free capital, without interest. Then Equity Group was also another gainer on the market. See, it lost on the Ugandan market, on the Nairobi Stock Exchange market. That's how the stock market is really. And it has the traded volume was about 2,500 shares on the market. Then Ever Ready is a gainer. All these are gainers, by the way. Gaining by about 0.01 and trading currently at 0.74 cents. And of course, the volume traded was 400. Moving down to Stanley Bahari, was gaining by about 6.1, gaining by about 0.08 to a price of 6.1, and trading a volume of about 200 shares per, of course, the trading day yesterday. Then Flame Tree Group Holdings was another company, but lost on the market, 0.05 to a price of 1.25 cents. And 200 shares were traded as per the market yesterday. HF Group was a gainer. I&M Holdings, public company limited, was a loser by 0.15 cents to a price of about 17 and trading a volume of 1,500 shares on the market. Other gainers included Captura Tea Company, KCB Group, the KenGen PLC, the Kenya Reassurance Limited, and Lead Captura Tea Company, gaining by about 8.75 cents. Why is this important? Because look, you could trade right now. If you bought shares yesterday in Captura Tea Company, you're trading at 8.75 cents more for every share that you bought. So it's important you keep knowledge of the stock market and get to know exactly what is my company doing. Is it gaining? Is it losing? Don't sleep on your money, because this is your money. If you're investing in some of these companies, please make sure you keep track and get to know exactly what's happening to each and every company that you are able to invest in. And of course, even the ones you're not investing in, to know if there are opportunities there as well. KCB was another company that gained on the Kenyan market, lost on the Ugandan market, gained by about 0.2 cents to a price of 36.95 Kenyan shillings, and trading a volume of about 7,000 shares there on the market. Of course, other companies that gained included Nairobi Stock Exchange itself. Remember, an exchange can demutualize and become a separate entity or company and get listed on another exchange or on its own exchange. So the Nairobi Stock Exchange is one of the listed companies on the exchange, and it lost, actually it gained yesterday by 0.2 to a share price of 6.8 and Kenyan shillings, and traded a volume of about 300 shares. So you can buy shares in the Nairobi Stock Exchange itself as a company. Kenya Orchards Limited and was another mover on the market, but didn't have any change in price. East African Portland Cement was a gainer at 0.08, and currently it traded at 8.8 cents by the close of the market yesterday, and a volume of about 300 shares was traded. Standard Chartered Bank was another gainer, gaining by 0.5, and this currently brings it to a price of 125 Kenyan shillings. And yesterday too, Safaricom, which is the biggest listed company by turnover on the Nairobi Stock Exchange, was another gainer, gaining by 0.35 cents to a price of 23.5 cents, and traded a volume of about 63,800 shares. Samia Africa was a loser as well on the market, losing by 0.35 cents, and of course to a price of 4 cents per share. And a volume traded was 1,700 shares on the Nairobi Stock Exchange. The Total Kenya Company Limited was another gainer, gaining by about 0.85 cents to a price of 23.4 cents, and volume traded was 1,000. Uchumi Supermarket was a loser, trading a volume of 100,000 shares and losing by 0.01 cents with price of 0.17 cents. Umeme Limited, remember, Umeme Limited is cross-listed from the Uganda Security Exchange to the Nairobi Stock Exchange, and in the Nairobi Stock Exchange trades about 7 cents, and a 0.2 decline was witnessed yesterday at, of course, 500 shares that were traded on the stock exchange. Those were some of the movers or the gainers and the losers on the market. But looking at now the Nairobi Stock Exchange day, the summary of trading on the day, at the end of the first day of the week, that is 27th, the Nairobi Stock Exchange traded a total of about 13.014 million shares. And it was traded in 1,118 deals that were done on the market. This corresponds to a market value of 571,492 shares. Actually, Kenyan shillings, sorry. 500 million Kenyan shillings were traded yesterday. Compared with the previous Nairobi Security Exchange day, that is Friday, 24th of June, the data showed 71% decline in volume, 55% decline in turnover, and 15% decline in deals that were cut on the market. The current market capitalization of the Nairobi Securities Exchange is 1.82 trillion Kenyan shillings. And in aggregate, 46 Nairobi Stock Exchange listed equities participated in trading, ending with 4 gainers with 9.02% share price appreciation, closing at 4.35 Kenyan cents per share. He was followed by Kakuzi at 4.07%, then Centum Investment Company at 2.11%, then CIC Insurance Group gaining by about 2.04%, and on the losing side, Umeme came out last on the Nairobi Stock Exchange end of day trading with a price depreciation of 10% at a price of 7.02% per share. Closing of the market yesterday. Umeme, I think, did very badly on the market yesterday. And this is, I think, one of the worst trading days for Umeme on the Nairobi Stock Exchange, losing by about 10% value in share price on the market. It's quite something. And then Safaricom, of course, recorded the highest volume traded, trading 4.58 million shares on the market. He was followed by East African Breweries, trading about 2.85 million shares, and Kenya Power and Lighting Company, trading about 2.05 million shares. Equity Group Holdings traded about 1.81 million shares. Now, regarding the performance of the Nairobi Stock Exchange market indices, the benchmark all share index shed about 0.33 points. That's about 0.28% point decrease, and that is closing at 116.88 points, representing a 1-week loss of 3.88%, a 4-week loss of 9.98%, and an overall year-to-date loss of 29.78%. Other remarkable indices that performed were the Nairobi Stock Exchange 20 share index, trading about, ending the week by about 0.161% loss, and a 1-week loss of about 3.25%, and a year-to-date loss of about 17.81%. The NSE 25 all share index, that is the top 25 companies, they lost 4%, and a year-to-date loss of 26.48%. And of course, other exchanges, other indices were the FTSE Nairobi Stock Exchange, as well as the Ftse Nse 25 and 15 indices that performed on the market. That is the Kenyan stock market. Of course, data is as per the close of the market yesterday. Right now, the markets are open, and the Uganda Security Exchange, if you want to get a broker who can trade on your behalf on other exchanges across Africa, you can as well approach some of the licensed stockbrokers like SBG and the like. Otherwise, you need to start investing in the stock market to enjoy some of the benefits that you see other people gaining. Looking at the average performance of the stock markets, stock exchange, then the Uganda Stock Exchange and the Rwanda Stock Exchange. Remember, Nairobi is the biggest stock exchange, followed by the Dar es Salaam. Nairobi has about 65 listed companies, and Dar es Salaam has about 29. The Uganda Stock Exchange has